Hello everyone. Welcome to this series of episodes on happy parenting and teaching. During the last few episodes, we have been trying to understand what is the reason for the gap between teaching and learning. While teaching takes place in the classroom, the learning has to take place in the mind of a child. In the last episode, we talked about one of the very important presupposition. If one student can do something, any student can learn to do the same thing. Just as a recap, we were also talking about an outcome has to take place, which is the quality of learning, and for which the teaching process is very, very important. Then we need to know certain knowledge on the various concepts of teaching and learning, and the teacher should develop certain skills both in herself as well as among the children, so that the quality of learning improves over a period of time. Now, I'm going to take you through the next presupposition, NLP presupposition. It says the mind and body are part of the same system. The mind and body are part of the same system. As I mentioned to you some time back, NLP presuppositions explain the link between the mind and the brain, how the mind works, how the various actions that we do takes the clue from the mind. If we understand this presupposition, that the mind and the body are part of the same system, we'll be in a position to answer some of the classroom related and learning related issues. Let's say that you have a computer, and another person also has the same computer, the same model and configuration. Just because you have the same computer, will you be able to turn out the same output from that computer? The whole issue boils down to two things. One is called the hardware, which are the way the computer is assembled in terms of various parts. The second one is the software. The software which is installed in the computer. Both of them are very, very important. A, you may have the same hardware and the same software. B, you may want to produce the same outcome, but the most important thing is, do you know how to manipulate or how to use the various hardware in the computer? The second one is, do you have the same software, or do you know how to use the software as the other person is using? There are a couple of things which we need to understand in a classroom. The body represents the brain of the children. I have repeatedly said in my previous episodes that in terms of the brain configuration, in terms of the brain chemicals, hormones, functioning, number of parts, location, all of us are identical. We have the same number of neurons when we were born. The way the brain functions is also identical, but where we make a difference is the mind. So we need to use the mind and the brain. Isn't it true that the mind should cooperate? Now we say this, if he applies his mind, he will do it. How does the application of mind takes place? In my interaction about the learning and teaching, and in my interaction with the children, I consider the quality of learning is decided by the quality of concentration and the quality of focus. Now, whichever student is able to improve on this concentration and focus, the child is able to register. I've repeatedly said in the previous episodes that seeing is different from noticing. Hearing is different from listening. Communication is different from presenting. So we need to understand that the mind and body are part of the same system is a very, very important interface between the learning and the teaching process. I would suggest a couple of ideas in order to apply this presupposition. First of all, I would like to say, arrest the body. Arrest the body. Now let's say that, let me give a simple example. Let's say that this is a fountain pen and I want to fill it with an ink. And if I'm not able to hold it properly, no matter how much ink I have, I'm not going to fill it up because there is a disturbance here. Similarly, a disturbed body is not ready to receive any instruction. A disturbed body is a result of a disturbed mind. So this is closely connected to the concept of class control. Class control. If the children are not controlled, no matter what is taught, no matter how well it is taught, the children are not ready to receive it. In my seminars with children, I make them to sit with eyes closed and body straight, gradually from 2 minutes, 3 minutes to 4 minutes to 5 minutes. They have to be trained to arrest the body. Try this exercise. Before you start the class, make the children to sit straight with eyes closed and body erect for 2 minutes before you even start. This will make a very big difference to get the body and control. That's why in meditation, that's why in yoga, people are taught a particular body posture. This is very, very important. The second one I would suggest is arrest the mind. Arrest the mind. At least when the body is moving around here and there, you will know that the body is moving. But even though the children are in the classroom, you do not know where the mind is. You have to arrest the mind, which means from many thoughts to few thoughts to one thought. Now this transition is very, very important. From many thoughts to few thoughts to one thought is very, very important. This is what we otherwise call it as focus. Now the children's mind is cluttered. The children's mind is distracted. We have to get them into focus. So the body and mind is part of the same system, or part of the same system is an important presupposition. We'll continue this in our next episode as to how to go through this transition of many thoughts to few thoughts to one thought. See you in my next episode.